I never thought a simple driveway could spark a war, but it did. I had my neighbor's luxury SUV towed not once but twice, and the whole neighborhood watched her fall from power. That woman wasn't just any neighbor. She was the president of our HOA. Act 1. The conflict begins. My name's Reggie Carter. I'm a middle school science teacher down in Lakeland, Florida. I spend my days trying to convince kids to care about the periodic table when they'd rather be glued to TikTok. By the time I get home, all I want is peace, a quiet brick house, a neat little lawn, and my driveway, my sanctuary. But then there was Blythe Vanderholt, my next-door neighbor, HOA president, self-appointed queen of the block, and for some reason she decided that my driveway was hers. The first time I saw her silver Lexus RX sitting there, I thought it was an honest mistake. Maybe she had a delivery. Maybe she just needed a minute. I let it slide. But then it happened again, and again. Every time she had some excuse. Oh, I was just dropping something off. Or, I needed space for a delivery truck. She'd wave her manicured hand, flash that tight little smile like my frustration was beneath her. At first I stayed polite, knocked on her door, asked her to move. She rolled her eyes like I was the unreasonable one. It's just a car, Reggie. You park on the street half the time anyway. It wasn't just a car. It was the principal, my property, my space. So I called the HOA. Big mistake. The woman on the phone sighed like I'd asked her to solve world hunger. Unless there's physical damage, sir, we don't get involved in neighbor disputes. We'll send a courtesy email. A courtesy email. That was their solution. Blythe was on the board, practically royalty, and me, just some teacher who should know his place. That was the moment I realized I'd have to fight this battle myself. Act 2. Escalation and turning point. One Friday, after a week that felt like a decade, I pulled into my street dreaming of my couch and a cold beer. And there it was, her Lexus, parked dead center, crooked like she'd done it just to get under my skin. I marched up to her door. She opened it, wine glass in hand, smirking. Oh, I figured you wouldn't mind, Reggie. You're always on the street anyway. I clenched my jaw so hard it hurt. Move. The car. She laughed. Actually laughed. You're uptight about the smallest things. Relax. That night I sat on my couch grading papers, replaying her smug face in my head, and I made a decision. Next time she parked there, I wasn't asking. Sure enough, the next evening her Lexus was right back in my driveway. No hesitation this time, I called a tow truck. 20 minutes later, her SUV was rolling down the street on the back of a flatbed. An hour after that, my front door shook with pounding fists. I opened it slow, and there she was, hair a mess, pajamas absolutely furious. Where's my car? I shrugged. Towed. Sunshine, towing off Orange Blossom Trail. Have a nice night. Her face went crimson. You'll regret this, Reggie. I'm HOA president. I have connections. I gave her one slow blink. Good for you, and shut the door in her face. I thought that would end it. I was wrong. The next week I started getting HOA violation letters. My porch plants weren't aesthetically compliant. My mailbox paint was fading. My garbage cans sat out too long, all nonsense. And every time I stepped outside I could feel her watching me, waiting for me to slip. One night while I was watering my lawn, a security SUV pulled up. The officer asked, dead serious, "Sir, do you live here? We got a report of suspicious activity." I turned my head, and there she was, Blythe standing on her porch pretending she didn't know a thing. I almost laughed. Suspicious activity. Watering my lawn. After the guard left, I walked up to her porch. You know damn well why they were here. She gasped, all fake innocence. Reggie, no need to be rude. We just have to look out for the neighborhood, don't we? That night, sitting alone in my house, I felt something I hadn't before doubt. Maybe I was being petty. Maybe I should just swallow my pride, let her park, let her win. Because honestly, I was tired. Tired of fighting, tired of the petty games. But then my phone lit up. A text from a neighbor. Saw the flyer she put up. Don't let her get to you, man. She fined me $200 for a wind chime. Total nightmare. Another message. If she parks in your driveway again, I'll split the tow fee. And it hit me, I wasn't the only one. She'd been bullying this whole neighborhood for years. I just happened to be the first person to push back. That gave me the second wind I needed. If Blythe wanted a war, I wasn't backing down. Act 3. The Showdown in Justice. A week later, Saturday afternoon, my family was coming over for a cookout. I pulled onto my street, whistling only to stop cold. Her Lexus was back, this time blocking my garage. I parked, grabbed a chair from my trunk, and sat on my porch. One call, calm voice. Yeah, this is Reggie Carter. Same location as last time. Yep, same car too. 15 minutes later, the tow truck rolled up. The driver smirked. We doing this again? Looks like it, I said, sipping from my water bottle. As he hooked the Lexus, Blythe stormed out screaming like we were robbing her house. Stop. You can't do this. I leaned back, relaxed. You parked in my driveway, again. I had guests. There's no street parking. Not my problem. She shook with rage. You don't understand who you're dealing with. I can make your life miserable. I actually laughed. Blythe, look around. Your car's already gone. Sure enough, the tow truck was halfway down the street. She let out a shriek that could crack glass. You'll regret this. I stood, dusted off my jeans, and looked her in the eye. No, Blythe. You will. But she wasn't done. By Monday, the whole neighborhood had flyers in their mailboxes. Do we tow our neighbors instead of resolving disputes peacefully? She blasted emails to the community painting herself as the victim. The problem was, nobody bought it. People had lived under her little dictatorship too long. My phone buzzed with messages. We're with you, man. She tried to find me for my kid's bike. When the next HOA meeting rolled around, I made sure to be there. Sat right across from her. She looked smug, ready to spin her story. But then the board member cleared his throat and said, "We need to address complaints filed against Blythe Vanderholt." Her face dropped. They listed it all: false security calls, retaliatory violations, misuse of HOA emails. She sputtered. "This is ridiculous. You're taking his side." The board member shook his head. "We're taking the side of the community." For the first time, she had nothing to say. But the final straw came 2 days later. I pulled into my driveway and noticed my trash cans were gone. Not tipped over, gone. I found them stacked neatly behind her house. I snapped photos, walked up to her door, knocked. She opened it. Slow eyes, tired, no smirk left. I held up my phone. "Care to explain why my trash cans are in your backyard?" "I don't know what you're talking about." I chuckled. "Blythe, I have pictures. You've lost. The HOA isn't backing you. The neighbors are done. And now you're out here stealing trash cans like a crazy person." She just shut the door. The next morning, I filed an official complaint with the HOA, with the photos, with the neighbor statements. By the end of the week, they had no choice. Blythe Vanderholt was removed from the board. And just like that, the Queen lost her crown. Closing line. Some people think they can push forever, but eventually they meet the one person who pushes back, and that's when they fall.